Hello friends and welcome back to another episode of our Nova Roma Crusader Kings III modded Lost Legion playthrough. The last episode finally saw us expand out east into the Horn of Africa, and during this time some of the distant family members we had appointed to higher positions took it upon themselves to choose this moment of all moments to start civil wars, and I mean wars as in plural. We've managed to end one or two of the smaller ones, and the largest one is on their knees. We're about to piece that out. But we are seriously in turmoil just now. We have a legacy to choose as well as a lot going on at court and some enemies that we will not be forgiving so quickly. Alas, we resume. So the very first thing I'm going to do is Dynasty Legacy. I think we've been fighting an insane amount of military shenanigans here, so I feel like Squire traditions make sense. I think it's the most common reoccurrence that we can probably pin. And the war that we're about to piece out, I've more or less pinned all the sort of ringleaders that have taken part in it. And we won't be forgetting their name. But the strangest thing is, they all seem to really like us. So I'm not following the logic there. But if we go to court, we have two things to quickly deal with, so let's do that. The Prandial Excess. Each day it seems my court is abuzz with talk of the next banquet, and many have grown rather more portly as of late. The culinary activity is fueled by Imperatrix Atia, Jaishma and Clementius, constant vying to demand the most memorable meal from my overworked cooks. Today is my guest Clementius who drills. My liege, tonight I'm having the kitchen prepare the richest sauce known to man, served with a 10-bird roast, licking his lips hungrily. Comatissa Marina sighs disapprovingly. These fleeting pleasures are nothing compared to Saturn's grace. We can't wait. Only the best for my court, or the extravagance has gone too far. I think I'll say I can't wait. We did upgrade our court and we've sort of tried to keep it at the elevated level. We also have a Fleshwind. A pool of blood is congealing under the feet of Hemet Sen, a diplomat sent by my ally Ngapo Maridinarayan, I think, of Rada. By the immense quantity soaked up by the fine carpet, I can only assume he has been bleeding on this spot for hours if not longer. My apologies for this mess. I was defenestrated by a dwarf trying to rob me in an inn on my journey to Nova Roma. Wonder if it was from that family of dwarfs. However, as the rapscallion cushion my fall, the diplomatic visit can continue. It will still be days until my blood loss is fatal. My calendar only has space. I think we'll speak to the poor guy just now, right? We can talk now about your liege's paying for it. I think that's fair. I think that was fair. Okay, we then can hold court. Now's not the time, and we really don't want any of these weaves. We're not interested in weaves. We will, however, immediately piece this. Job's done there. And the Imperium Aeternum stands more or less united once again with the new enclave out to the west, which is more or less sort of ruled over by the Valens dynasty. Duke Valens IV of Scotora is more or less controlling most of this area, and will hopefully be helping him hold on to that. Now, Caesar Magnus, our prisoner brother and vassal. He was part of the revolt against us. He's 55, he's a couple of years younger than us. Would we forgive our own blood here? He's got a massive bit of land now, so our family is sort of grown in strength within. I think we will, in this instance, I think we'll ransom him. And we'll try and bury the hatchet with our brother. We are callous, just, and impatient. We're a very high diplomacy and we hold family close. The family always has. They've stuck with each other. So that's him dealt with, Count Magnus. Dukes Quintus. He's of the Leonid dynasty and he has landed where? On Concana. I think for you, my good sir, I think we're going to take your duchy off of you. And I think we'll look to land someone else. And then I think we'll also move him to the dungeon. He should not have revolted against me. We can then unpin him. Comes Claudius. He's also of the Randolfica dynasty. He's massively in debt. He has some holdings down this direction. I think for him we're going to take a holding off him. And then we'll ransom him. In fact, no you won't. We'll negotiate your release. We'll renounce you. I think we'll just get him to renounce claims. We'll grab ourselves a weak hook and we'll let him go. So he can go, Magnus can go, you're rotting in prison. This is this woman that led the first revolt that we quelled, so she's rotting in prison. I dare say we probably don't have to think about her too much. And what we also now need to do is sort out our land and our holdings here. I think what we're going to do is rename this county to the county of Occidens, which stands for West. It's one of the most western points and it's one of the most upgraded places within this holding, so we're going to rename that. I'm then going to grant this to a noble of Roman culture. I'm not particularly bothered as to who. And I'm going to give him a second holding here. And I'm going to do the same down here with this one. I'm going to grant this to a noble of Roman culture. Again, his traits are pretty virtuous. I'm happy to just give him bits of this land. And the Duchy of Conca I'm going to give to the smaller of the two. I imagine that's probably not going to end well, but I'd rather they were competing against each other than myself. We then have 2 further holdings to give away. The temple holding here we're going to give away. We've no interest in keeping that ourselves. Do I want to try and keep this? It's in the south here. It's fairly well upgraded. I might think about keeping that one. I'm honestly thinking about giving this away. Manyapura. Or did I give away Masur? No, you know what? I'm going to give away Manyapura. I've no interest in keeping that. We'll give that to someone random, essentially. And that should be us pretty much dished out the titles and sorted ourselves there. We are still at war, it says. And it's up here in this northwestern area. What I'm going to do here is disband these troops. Seeing as they're no longer needed. I'm going to wait maybe 2-3 months and then we'll re-raise here. I don't think we're in a particular rush. What I will do here though is we will raise all of our men at arms. We could probably use them to fight this in the short term. Oh, so we've not done much yet. A lot's happened. So let's unpause and let time play out. A white piece. Okay, that's someone else's war that we're in. Search that comes with inherited contract explosion to more than you have collected. We will absolutely right this wrong. Strange one here. We only had 1 man raised. He's managed to kill 9 to 10 enemies before he was brought down. Didn't expect that one. So I guess what we really need to do is re-raise the entirety of our troops perhaps here and go end this war. Now there's factions being created against us sort of left, right and centre. That's fine, we can deal with that. I'm going to dispatch this army and I think we're going to go north and just start sieging some of the border holdings. And then in here we're going to go, they're sieging that back actually. We'll maybe go and siege that back ourselves with our own sort of retinue. And we'll allow the main body of our army here to go up here. Probably split them in 2 and siege both of these. And we'll just start trying to end these wars one at a time. And I think it's going to take quite a bit of peace after this turbulent time. War for Princeps Callistus. So the ruler of you has just changed to another member of the same dynasty, which is a branch of our dynasty. I'm fine with that war ending. This then means that we have 1 singular war that we need to finish now and then the job's done, which is absolutely fine with us. We're going to go, ironically, and fight a pretty decisive battle here at Kylanium, named after ourselves, and hopefully that will begin the ending chapter to this war. In the scorching midday heat, they sit in the shadow under a great stone pine, playing on lutes and flutes. They sing in many tongues, yet my heart can understand every word. I can hear them from my balcony, and they stir my soul. Yet I do not know the identity of these musicians, and when I leave my lofty halls and approach the tree, they are gone. Are they sent from Hades? Are they phantoms devised by Dispater to ensnare me? Perhaps not, but what am I to do with his damned feelings? So beautiful. We'll be awed by beauty, but we're going to gain stress because we're impatient. We could sponsor more musicians, which we could technically afford. Enough! I will have that damned tree chopped down, and everyone's going to be mad at us. We'll also have an aversion to joy. I think we'll sponsor more musicians. I think that seems to be the middle of the road choice for us. Okay, 1 holdings in our hands now. We'll move up and we'll start sieging the capital. So we currently have 8,800 men. I think that's pretty healthy. The war's kicking onto our side. And there is a lot of stuff going on. Impeccable household. Our wife is just doing stuff in the background, right? Super underappreciated even by myself if I do say so. But she's just working away, chipping away at all the mundane tasks. A guild of stonemasons has established itself in the county of Isthmium. Having dedicated craftsmen my 38%. Let's risk it. My Spasher's come to me with grave news. But we don't know who yet. Someone's playing Rex. I don't care if someone tries to kill him. He's in my prison. He was one of the leading individuals in one of the recent wars against me. However, with this war being over, we are going to enforce our demands and bring that to a close immediately. We're also going to disband troops. And for the first time in a long time, we stand united with no civil wars currently ongoing. Now, our crown authority is on limited, which is an ouch. We were at one point on the verge of going to absolute, so that sucks. But I think Kylanius II, third of his name, he's now 60 years old. His health is poor, which is not good. He's trying to hold on. He doesn't want to see his children have to go through what he did. And hereditary rule's what he's looking at, but he needs to survive another 5 years for that. 5 more years. The leadership of the Masons seemed reluctant to strike any kind of deal on behalf of the guild until I pointed out exactly how much it would benefit us both. We did not even have to resort to violence. Excellent. This individual here, Kakuku, the third of Maru. So he's set up there. That was the man that led the very large revolt against us. I think for him we need to take the duchy off him. And we'll just look to reallocate here. He's got one province. I think now we're going to move him to a dungeon. Because he chose the wrong moment basically to do what he's trying to do. And then I think up here we'll look to just basically land someone else. So we'll grant this to just a noble of our culture. And then I think in here we're going to grant this to someone who's hopefully fairly content. I think we've had enough of civil wars and we're really, really starting to look for someone who is a little bit more laid back and not looking for too much. Just temperate and content. That's the man for our job here. Now that's the chick that led one of the civil wars against us. She's not long for this world, so I'm just going to make some money off of her, essentially. And we're going to let time play as well. I think we're also going to go on a pilgrimage. We've had quite a reluctant, few years of war, and this is something to take our mind off of it. And I think we'll go to Kovai. It's going to put us in debt, but it's worth it. Of course it's worth it. As I pray for my journey, I know that I will travel safely under the protection of the gods. On the road we go. My spy for he's setting up my nephew, Princeps Julius, who is an interesting looking character, right? Is scheming against Rex. Again, yeah, I'm not going to accuse him. I literally hate Rex Lucius. He was one of the initial instigators of the war against us. Love thy neighbour. Among my fellow pilgrims there is a woman who preaches compassion and fellowship, until she reaches the topic of heathens. One evening around the campfire she loudly declares them to be abominable monsters in the eyes of the gods, deviants and child murderers all. Most people avert their eyes when she looks at them. Tonight I was not quick enough. Do you not agree, O Imperator? So she knows who we are. I agree, and I will not trust anyone who came to their defence. A disdain for heathens. I think that's what we have to do. Then again, our wife did not come from a romantic setting. Oh no, that's a lie, she did. She did. But our mother did not. She raised us well. She was kind to us. I think we'll say that they're not all that bad. My prisoner Comes Kakuka has died. Faction. What a coincidence this is. So much dying. Faction's been disbanded. What a shame that is. We are in debt. Yes, we know. Yep, we're in debt. We've arrived and we have walked the holy path. We have a 61% to be known and gain the trait Wise Man. And we have. I don't think we've ever had Wise Man before. Maybe I'm really lying. I think I probably am lying. Extra learning, extra income. Not a bad thing. I spot my wife Atia chattering excitedly to Akaral Raj, listing ideas and suggestions for his box. My carpenter is barely concealing his contempt, clearly annoyed at my spouse's interference. And as you are making a box, she goes on, it may as well match my grandmother's old box. Part of our soul seems to be dying. I think we'll say that our wife must be heard. It will be of a higher quality. What do you know? Our wife Atia did know better. And then we return from our pilgrimage. So quite a lot going on. So we can demand a payment of 1 coin. I don't think we're going to do that. There is factions being created against me. Peasant rabble. and basically populace, so it's basically peasants. Here we have Baro Gracchus of Gingy, one of the men that we just elevated. He's coming into our court, and he is paying homage. Thank you, sir. So, Samnata Par... I don't know how to say some of these games. I really don't know how to say these names. He wants an alliance. He's tiny. I think the answer here, friend, is no. My spy has come to the great news. It is my nephew, Prince Julius Caesar, that is plotting against my vassal. I don't mind. I honestly don't mind. I like that he's trying to kill him. He's doing us a favour. We can hold court though, which is something we probably should do, so we'll go for it, I guess. We'll usher in the plebeians. Celebrating another culture. My vassal Comatissa Chinamabaik, spreading her arms like she often does. My lord, I have a brilliant idea. How about we host a fair, or perhaps even a festival for the common folk, to expose them to one of the different cultures in our beautiful kingdom? Chinambaik explains her further idea until she realises that she's dangerously close to over-explaining it. It'll cost money, but I'm sure it'll foster a more positive relationship between our people. We'll hold a big... Oh god. We can show them Roman greatness. Yeah. I think we'll show them Roman greatness here. A holy tomb. The peasant in front of me seems about to explode with excitement. My lord, the miracles, the holiness, we have been... Capital letters, italics. Blessed! Her enthusiastic ramblings are confusing, but I finally get the gist of it. She wants me to sponsor the cult of a local saint who has recently died in Gardafool. Isman was a miracle maker in life, known for chasing away Shaitan with a whip and preaching to the birds. His tomb is attracting devoted visitors from all over the realm. I already know the saint came to me in a dream. It'll cost us piety, and we'll get the holy finger of Insum. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's say we already know, and we'll get his finger. Last requested. In a brief moment of silence, I see Caesar Kylanius, that is our heir, I believe, who's 40 now, bloody hell, quietly considering before realising that it's his turn to speak. Father, he says, giving him some precious time to finalise his thoughts before continuing. Smiles and laughter are a great indicator. Okay, so he wants us to get a jester. You know what? Okay. We'll do that. And then business here is done. Excellent. I'm actually just wondering, is our son has landed. Our son has actually landed, so he's making a name for himself. Unfortunately, he's a deviant. He's a deviant. Otherwise, he seems to be doing things here and there. We can't complain too much. We do also have a new stewardship skill, which we are going to go for fearful troops. My prisoner Comatissa Shudamante has escaped my dungeons. The guards have nothing to say. Okay, so she's still our vassal. I could revoke her title. If we do that, they're going to rise up and revolt. She actually seems to like us now. I think we'll keep an eye on you. We'll keep an eye on her just now, I think. Not much we can do about the fact she's escaped. Inspiration. No, we're not looking to impress anyone here. And we have a betrothed that can marry. This is our son and vassal, marrying Honora Leonid. That's fine with us. I'm going to hold a mystical commune. My communions with the divine have been different lately. They no longer make me feel ecstatic, but instead weak. Today I cannot even muster the strength to rise from bed. Oh no. We became ill. This is not good. We are literally on the verge of hereditary. We're 4 years away. I don't know if we'd survive another massive split apart. The split with you was something that we've came out on top of eventually, but it's taken quite a bit of time. A call to war. Sure, we'll join it because we've pretty much got no choice. So it's way up there in the north. Again, I don't really want to send any troops, so I don't think we will. I think we'll just reluctantly help if they start getting pushed back. Spouse. Some of my counsellors believe the job is theirs by right of blood or influence alone. How wrong they are. I expect results, yet I'm often disappointed. After a long day, I'm complaining to Atia when she interrupts me. Let me do something about it, husband. A few lessons might sharpen their wits. Now, I have to be honest, our wife has been absolutely working in the background and been a bit of a workhorse here. She's brought us money when we needed it, she's brought some prestige, and she's actually very devoted to religion. Now, I'm trying to think. You are pretty good at martial and stewardship. Are you better than any of them? He's our chancellor. Spy master. Yeah, I think we'll get her to study learning. I don't think that's going to be a bad thing. I think she might be able to actually help there. We're also about to come out of debt, so that's nice. And we're no longer ill. I'm glad to be well again. Believe me, I'm glad to see you well again. We're no longer in debt. My lord, my beneficiary attribute. Here we go. Imperator Kylanius jewellery casket. It's a famed pedestal item. Extra piety, extra renown, and court grandeur. Unfortunately, though, I'm not sure if it's better than some of the things that we already have. It's undoubtedly better than the Pala Gauntlet, so it's going out there. What else do we have here? We don't really fulfill that. And we could put the Holy Finger that we got out. We could stick out the Rex Kylanius goblet, or the Pala goblet. I think we'll put out Rex... Oh, that is displayed. My bad. I think we'll go for the Holy Finger. We'll put the Holy Finger out. Makes the most sense, I think. Another betrothed can marry. This time it is... Oh, filled itself out. Our son Gratian has married. Excellent. We wish them all the best. And we can ransom this individual, who is in a roundabout way part of our dynasty. I think we're going to leave him in prison. So, Islanda Fawiza has learned Latin. That is impressive, and I'll send my regards. She's all the way down there, so she's obviously trying to impress us. Now, she has 2 titles. She has almost no allies. I honestly feel like she just brought herself to our attention. She shouldn't have done that. And we're looking for expansion here. It would be really nice to make a small sort of kingdom here that can sort of fend for itself. Yeah, let's properly keep an eye on her. Now, the other thing I'm blissfully aware of is the fact that we are lacking decent commanders, so I'm going to hold, I guess, essentially ancient job interviews. I'm also going to divine the stars. We're trying to get ourselves organised and in a safe position. Factions targeting us have been disbanded. Not a bad thing. I've spent the nights looking up at the celestial bodies, and we are anticipating a great battle. Bit of a martial bonus then. Not a bad thing. Champions are starting to arrive. And we can sponsor another weave. 2 more weaves sitting there. I am not interested at all. Faction created against us, and we have finished increasing control. Again, we need to continue here. We had a few setbacks when we went into debt. I think we'll also adopt a puppy. Yeah, you shall serve me well, little one. The dog. Amiable, Nosewise, or Snow. Now, we called our first one Romulus. I'm going to call this one Remus. I think that makes sense. Named after the founders of Rome. And we've been called into another war against the tyranny of Dukes Rutulus, who is our nephew, and the Duke and the ruler up to the northeast of the new Roman Enclave, which is shrinking in size, may I add. Getting smaller and smaller all the time. Our prisoner has escaped Rex of Nova Roma, so he's getting pinned. He's a vassal in our realm. I'm going to go ahead and demand his conversion. You never know. He has said yes. Excellent. So he's just converted. That's going to make him like us more, and that should hopefully help this area sort of secure itself. Now, something that's annoying me here is that there's 2 small independent counties. And I'm going to be honest, it doesn't sit well with me. So, Commes Julius, am I going to declare war for you? I don't think I am. I think we'll just holy war for the county. And right next door to it, I'm afraid I'm going to do the same right there as well. We're going to take both of them in one go if we can. Anything to just widen that, and they're in a vulnerable position. Like, it feels stupid not to, basically. I'm also just going to use our own troops. I'm going to hope not to use any of our retinues or our vassals. And we'll basically stick to using what we know. They've got about 500 men each. Really not a lot. We'll get immediately moving and we'll go in and try and take them out. They're up to 1,400 now. We're at 3,200. So that is that's a lot of our own personal retinue now, isn't it? First army's gone. We're going to station besiegers here and then we're going to go chase them down. We have enough men to do so. Our brother Kylanius has died. How did he die? Died from his wounds. So he's obviously passed on to his eldest, right? Seems like he's actually passed his daughter. Regina Verina of Andhra. She's inherited the titles. No, she's not. No, she has not. Okay, I'm a little bit confused as to what's just happened there. All I know is that the alliance has expired, as has our alliance with... they're no longer married or betrothed. Wait a minute. This happened again. This has happened again. The Regnum of you have once again... they've got Pompey. Oh, that's pain. That is pain. Right, we're going to have to keep our eye on that. And we don't obviously want to cause any drama within the Roman world. We need a new marshal. So we've got 21 there, or the first duke we have is 16. I think we'll put the duke in. It's a powerful vassal. I think that makes the most sense. Oh, that was a bit of a sore one. And here we are wiping the floor with them. Our retinue's just too powerful now, to be honest. They're gone and we're sieging it. We're going to call a hunt as these two wars start to draw to a close. And I think Kylanius II is feeling good right now. Our glory is known widely. Rude vassal. Just as my vassal Commes Clementius starts to dismount, one foot still in the stirrup, my subversive vassal Commatisa Sciudamante made sure to bump into the horse, sending him stumbling across the camp. She's not of our religion, and Clementius is. Yeah, I think we're going to we'll punish her like one. We don't care for her. She was disrespectful. We can hire a court physician. We have no one within our ranks that is essentially going to be any good. We've got a wee bit of money in the bank and we're trying to stay alive, so I think we're going to search for one. This world is full of dangers, even to an imperator and his court. As per my request, my servants have inquired after recommendations. Okay, so we have Vajama, who is yourself. You're 41 and you're renowned. So Vida is enthusiastic. I don't think so. I think we'll pay for Vajamba. As long as she's going to be as good as she says, I'm happy to take her on. And just like that, we have ended one of the wars, which we will enforce straight away. Thank you very much. We'll disband these troops. In fact, we'll bring them up there, actually. And I think, honestly, I'm going to give this title to her son. I'm going to give that title to her son. I want them to become a little bit more powerful, a bit more respected. And him making a name for himself with a second holding here, I don't think that's a bad thing. We'll enforce the demands here, and that's both of those wars done. Nice quick victories, putting them back in our hands. I've seized the War Language Manual. It's not really for us, is it? This one I think we're just going to give to Cassius is content. That'll do me. We're not particularly bothered now, to be honest. We're just looking for stability up here. Content vassals are the key. We're 2 years from hereditary rule. We just have to hold on. Your kinsman Rex has created the cadet branch. Another cadet branch. So he's a Morian, he's now called. So this is a cadet branch off a cadet branch. Some Inception level stuff right there. We could up Crown Authority. I honestly think we're going to. I don't think it's a bad move. It might stir it might sort of stir the hornet's nest, but we need it to be as high as we can. Maybe not absolute, but certainly up on high. So Buma Katuri wants to go on an adventure. I will sponsor that happily. She can go on her adventure and see if she can bring us back some sort of worldly good. Commis Paulus is going to come in and bend the knee. We will accept his generous gift. Humbly, of course. Now, we have an interesting moment where we could force vassalize him. But the question is, do we really want to? Is that something we want to do? I don't think I want to. I do want to ducal conquest Pompeii and take it back into our hands. Or we could do a de jure claim. It's not going to cost us much. It's going to be a long war for a tiny little province though, right? And I'm pretty sure they're in a civil war just now. I don't really want to upset them too much. Let's just leave it as is. We're not in a rush. Time has come for me to depart upon my adventure, my Imperator. My beneficiary Bumi bows as well as she can, while weighed down by heavy bags. Anything specific? What do we want? I think an animal skull or hide would be interesting. It's become a habit to walk Remus daily, and I'm not sure which of us enjoy the fresh air and the sun the most. Remus bounds ahead and looks back at me and barks as if to say, catch up, and on we walk. So we are walking our dog. We're getting a medium health boost. We really do need that right now. Greetings, Imperator Kylanius of Imperia Maternum. 2 years ago you promised to aid me in the Punjab claim in the Kingdom of Himalaya, yet so far you have done nothing to support me in this endeavour. What is the point of our alliance if you're... Okay, so he's going to force us into fighting in this war, isn't he? So you are off... Okay. So he's here. Okay, we're going to have to help him, aren't we? Yeah, I guess we'll... I think we need to send troops immediately, don't we? We'll raise our troops as far north as we can. I am not interested in you guys being raised, and I'm not interested in you guys being raised. We'll just raise these 2 stacks, and we'll send them north to help. So we've got about 8,000 men raised here. I'm going to send 2,000 to the capital. I'm going to split these guys into 2 stacks. I'm going to send one towards his war target, the heart of the province. I'm going to send the other one to support them. We'll send another army here to there. Start pressing the advantage here and putting some pressure on them. It's actually a very large war up here. I didn't realise how many men were involved on each side. They've got a stack of 5,000 there, and our allies quickly trying to scramble the troops together. Now, I imagine the supply here is going to be terrible, so we're going to have to sort of choose our moments. They appear to be gathering, and it's not going fantastic, it has to be said. I'm going to send some of our troops to help. I'm not sure if we'll get there in time or what the story's going to be. I think we're going to arrive a little bit too late. Maybe we can mop it up. Our councillor Constantine has died of old age, which means we can now appoint someone of our choosing. And our player heir seems like the man I'd like to be on hand there. We're going to do our best to combine the troops, and we're going to go chase them down. We want to sort of take them out if we can. It's saying we're going to massively lose, which does surprise me. I'll be honest, that's a bit of a shock to me. It's because apparently they're also in debt. I'm going to go up Siegers Holden and make them come to us. I reckon if we're sieging or holding, they're going to have to move around. They're going to lose supply in this area. I'm happy to do that. We're going to earn our war contribution, and then our ally can stop basically crying. Managed to capture one province here. We'll continue on our way and keep doing more and more. Our ally's winning there. Is he? Yeah. No, they're not. My daughter-in-law Chankala has given birth to a son. Since the little one is part of the Randolfica dynasty, he should be blessed with a good name. So this is Caesar Gratians. He's going to be called Gratian like his father. That makes sense to me. Makes complete sense. I'm going to leave ample besiegers there, and we're going to move the rest of the men down, and we're going to start sieging that Holden. And I think here we're going to go for the capital. I think that makes the most sense. Got another new stewardship perk. This time we'll go for It Is My Domain. We're getting readied, I don't care. They are actually coming to try and dislodge us from their capital. We're going to send everyone we have to stop that from happening. And then in here, what we're going to do is we're going to appoint Commes Alexander, who is an unyielding defender, to hopefully help us in our task of holding on. Besieging the settlement of Lower Togreed, a fortification protecting swathes of Greater Nugal, Gerard Salah has restrained his troops. The resulting looting has been isolated and sporadic. Though your vassal has been spared, the Senegian eye your personal domains hungrily. Who's this? This is these looters. And it's here they've been doing it. 2,700 of them. My good sir, we will be taking a note of your name. So he's based where? Literally just, he's making a big mistake there. He's making a very big mistake. But as we move on and we go back north, we're trying to basically assemble our troops and intercept. Here we are losing very quickly. And I think that's mostly because it's more or less all of our sort of vassals. We're losing there very quickly, but I think it's because pretty much all levies. Inspiration, bringing music to the jungle. I received a missive from my adventurer with words embellished so I can see her in the theatre of my mind. I've been afooting in the jungle, the calling of the birds bounds into my skull, and I find it a dead dirge indeed. The few inhabitants here tell me they find it a most pleasing music. They've clearly never heard works of Maximium. I found one of the melodies of one of their reed pipes, and the locals chased me out of their town and nicked me with a poisoned blade. Though I lived, I thought, if I die bringing chamber music to the jungle, so be it. You can probably imagine what I did next. He started singing and won them over, which looks like it could succeed. And she fled to more civilised. Let's go for you started singing and won them over. As our armies get battered in the Highlands here. We're trying to get our troops in, but it's not looking great, is it? I'm hoping we're going to arrive just in time. We have. Reinforcements are here, and it looks like we're going to be tipping this at the last second. Our allies certainly cannot question our war contribution after this. Big win here for our ally. Big win. A traveller claiming to be employed under my beneficiary Bumi is brought before me carrying a message from the adventurer. Fear not, my great lord, for Bumi is in good health. I bring news of the plans to fund an even greater... I mean, we're going to have to, right? We're going to have to fund an even greater adventure. I don't think there's much of a choice. A lot's just happened. We can now appoint a brand new spy master. Now, they've both revolted against me before. Magnus is a powerful vassal. He likes us 100. I am going to trust in him. I'm going to trust in him just now. I don't see why not. Here, I think what we're going to do is just withdraw our troops back to our lands and get them disbanded. We've definitely helped enough there. They can't question us anymore. There we go. This is what we've been waiting on. Fascination discovered. Your culture has discovered the fascination hereditary rule. That means we're going to immediately go in here. We're going to go into Imperatum Aeternum. And we're going to change this to partition law. Bam. Under partition succession, your titles will be divided equally between your children. That is what we want. It stops titles being created. Yes, please. Now we can sigh. But it's a positive sigh, like a... a sigh of relief. Because we've just secured the future inheritance. The question that's now posed is, what's next? What do we concentrate on next? Now, looking back, we still don't have infantry. I think we're going to focus on that now and try and grab it. It says it'll be 2 years, and I think that's something we can accept. At this point, though, my friends, we are going to end, and I think we're feeling quite content. We've expanded our corridor, we've helped some of our allies, we're in a great financial position, but most importantly of all, we have secured the future inheritance. It's not going to be as bloody. I mean, I say that, I can't guarantee that. But it's not going to be as up in the air. It's not going to be as split. There's still going to be one ruling child. And it should hopefully ease the passage and make it easier for the children to, hopefully, let's say, discuss amongst themselves. My friends, we end here. And until the next one, goodbye for now.